Based on the media buzz, it's quite clear to me that the crown jewels of the October 2025 BTO are Keppel BTO and Mount Pleasant BTO. Otherwise, they wouldn't get mentioned this much by the authorities, right? So, in this video, I'm going to make a head-to-head comparison between Keppel and Mount Pleasant BTO to help you decide. Let's start first from location. The Keppel BTO is part of the exciting Greater Southern Waterfront project, which promises a new coastal lifestyle. Situated on the former Keppel Cup site, the first BTO is near Teluk Blangah MRT and Labrador MRT station, offering a unique opportunity for waterfront living with easy access to nature spots like Labrador Nature Reserve and Sentosa. It's an area in the midst of a grand transformation. On the other hand, the Mount Pleasant BTO is a more central choice. It's tucked between the mature estates of Toa Payoh, Balestier, and Thompson. This location is prime because it offers superb connectivity via the new Mount Pleasant MRT station on the Thompson East Coast Line. It's also a great option for families given its proximity to top schools like Raffles Institution. Now let's talk about the potential resale profit. Both projects are expected to be highly desirable on the resale market due to their prime locations. However, they will likely fall under the prime location housing. My guess, these two projects will be classified as prime BTOs, which means they will have strict resale rules such as a 10-year MOP, income restriction for future resale buyer, and a subsidy clawback among other rules. Despite of these restrictions, their strong locational attributes suggest that both could become million-dollar HDB flats after the MOP is over. The Keppel BTO has a first-mover advantage as a pioneer project in the Greater Southern Waterfront, while Mount Pleasant's value is bolstered by its central location and established amenities in the vicinity. For Mount Pleasant BTO, proximity to cemeteries is a potential turnoff for some buyers and could impact the resale value of Mount Pleasant BTO flats. This development is situated near two burial sites, Bukit Brown Cemetery and Kopi Sua Cemetery. While the government has adjusted road networks to avoid affecting the cemeteries, their presence is a factor that some future buyers, particularly those with strong cultural or religious beliefs, might find undesirable. This could limit the pool of potential buyers in the future. However, the impact on resale value is not a foregone conclusion. Other BTO projects, such as those in Bishan or Bidadari, were also built on former cemetery grounds and have seen high resale prices, with some becoming million-dollar HDB flats. This suggests that a prime location, strong connectivity, and quality amenities can outweigh the negative perception of a nearby cemetery. However, some of my viewers here argue that Mount Pleasant cannot be compared with Bishan or Bidadari because the cemeteries near Mount Pleasant are still there and may give unsettling feeling when the residents look outside the window. Ultimately, the resale value will depend on a balance of factors, including the flat's specific location within the state, whether it has a direct view of a cemetery or not, and the overall market demand for homes in such a central location. Keppel BTO is not perfect either. It actually has its own drawback. When you're picking a BTO flat there, I'm sure that you are expecting to get units with good view, right? Potentially ocean view. But then there's a risk. For the Keppel BTO, which is a part of the massive Greater Southern Waterfront project, there is a risk of future block view. And this is a real concern because if you look at the map, actually, this site is located at the back of the overall area of transformation and not so close to the waterfront. The total site is a sprawling 48 hectares and it will be developed in phases to include both public housing and private homes. While the initial BTO flats might have unblocked views of the coast, future developments on the larger land plot could very well be built in front of them, obstructing what was once a key selling point. So the risk of future blockage could impact the flat's potential resale value, as a pricey view could become a view of another building, making the flat less appealing to future buyers who are willing to pay a premium for that specific attribute. It is a significant risk that you need to consider carefully because the promised waterfront living could change significantly over time. Now let's talk about unique features and amenities. This is where these two projects start to diverge. For Mount Pleasant BTO, this project has a very special feature because it's one of the early BTOs to offer the white flat concept. I mean, it was offered before several years ago, but it's making a comeback now. This means that the flat comes without internal partition walls, giving you a literal white canvas to design your home. Of course, you can still opt for the conventional setup, but you do have the option to order it without the internal partition walls. I think at least for the 4-room flats, yeah. I don't know about the other flat type. This is perfect for those who want an open concept living space from the get-go, saving them the hassle and cost of hacking walls. The estate itself will also pay homage to its history by integrating parts of the old police academy, such as repurposing the old swimming pool starter blocks as seats and reusing trusses from the old drill shed in the new pavilion. It's a blend of modern design with historical preservation. For Keppel BTO, while it does not have the white flat concept, its unique feature is its waterfront living environment. The master plan of the Greater Southern Waterfront includes green corridors, landscape terraces, and walking trails that connect residents to the coast and nature parks. The estate will be car-light, emphasizing green and sustainable living. It's a more nature-centric and futuristic vision. Now let's talk about ballot risk. So ballot risk is a significant consideration when applying for a BTO, and there's a key difference between these two projects. Based on the current HDB rule, you can only apply for a town and a flat type. You actually don't apply for a specific project in the beginning. So Keppel BTO falls within the Bukit Merah town, right? And in the October 2025 BTO, there are actually two projects, Keppel BTO and Red Hill Close BTO. So for example, if you apply for a 4-room flat Bukit Merah, you can either get these two projects depending on your queue number. But if your queue number is very high, there is a chance that only Red Hill Close BTO units are left. That is assuming that most applicants prefer to live in Keppel BTO. This might be a disappointment to some buyer. The only way for you to be certain that you are only balloting for Keppel BTO is if you apply for a 3-room flat, because the Red Hill Close BTO does not have any 3-room flat. On the other hand, Mount Pleasant BTO is the only BTO in Toa Payoh for this October 2012 sales launch. So, when you apply for Toa Payoh Town, you can be certain that there is no risk of getting a different project. Now let's talk about school options. This is also a key area of difference. So Mount Pleasant BTO is a clear winner for those prioritizing proximity to well-known schools. It's located near several prestigious institutions, which may attract strong interest for families and also give you a boost in terms of resale value down the line. You'll find schools like Raffles Girls' School, Raffles Institution, CHIJ Primary Toa Payoh, and Marymount Convent School in the vicinity. This makes it a highly attractive option for parents aiming for popular schools for their children. The Keppel BTO, while also having some schools nearby, is just very thin in terms of options. That's the reality. Like if you look at the map, where's the school here? You kind of have to really zoom out to see several schools, which to me, you know what, this is not really family friendly for. So I mean, if good schools are very important for you, Keppel BTO just doesn't have that many options. That's the reality. So which project is better? Ultimately, your choice depends on your priorities. The Mount Pleasant BTO offers a highly central location with access to top schools and a unique white flat concept, but you will face a higher ballot risk due to intense demand for a single project. The Keppel BTO, on the other hand, while still very popular, might offer a slightly better chance of success on per project basis within the larger Bukit Merah town in exchange for a less central location but a distinct waterfront. The Keppel BTO, while still very popular, might offer a slightly better chance of success on a per project basis within the larger Bukit Merah town in exchange for a less central location but a distinct waterfront lifestyle. Why? Well, because some of the applicants would end up with Red Hill Close, so that's why. Yeah, it's like a 50-50 chance. So both are good options, but if you ask me personally, I would apply for a 4-room flat at Toa Payoh Town in order to make sure that my application really targeted to Mount Pleasant BTO. And then after that, I will request for it to be a white flat. Then I will renovate it to be a dual key unit so I can rent out one side while staying on the other side. That way, I can just retire early and, I don't know, travel the world or maybe become a full-time YouTuber or something. Wouldn't that be so nice? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below of these two projects, not about my early retirement plan. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. To get exclusive contents and support my work, click the join button to be part of the online family. Your support means a lot to keep us independent. Don't forget to join the membership, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye.